Yo, we are right back. I have been out here for probably about 45 minutes to an hour now. I got a whole contraption going on underneath the car. So last night, a customer came by. We talked to the transmission guy on the phone. He said it's electrical issue, which I pretty much agree because every time you turn the key, the P0785 code comes on, you clear it, and it comes right back on. So something's not right in the wiring harness somewhere. And the customer was like, well, so he brought an old transmission with this engine when he brought it, and he just went and got this rebuilt transmission. So last night he goes, well, why don't you just take the old transmission and get it under there and just plug it into the old transmission to see if that code continues to come up. Long story short, I just did all that, which was an absolute pain because, well, just look at what we got going on under here. And I already made a big old funky mess. But we got transmission jacked up, plugged into the old one. Don't mind the drive shaft and the exhaust pipe being out. Some boo-boos happened, but I got it plugged into the old transmission, and sure enough, I don't get that P0785 code anymore. I get a something for circuit A, but it's probably one because there's no transmission fluid in that transmission, or that transmission's probably junk to begin with, and that's why we didn't use that transmission. But the fact that I can put it in gear hooked up to that transmission and it doesn't give me that code is a good sign. So probably what I'm going to do is just get a new wiring harness, or take that wiring harness out of that one and put it in the rebuilt transmission, and then hopefully that fixes it, which probably not, but let me show you. I'm not going to start it because it's loud again with that exhaust pipe off. And let me read the codes. So I don't get it anymore. When I would run it and turn it off, I would get that code and I would start it and the code would pop right back up. Well, I haven't cleared the codes since I last ran it. So since it didn't come back up, that means the issue is in the harness and the transmission. But of course, I just replaced the sensors yesterday. So hopefully this fixes it. Last video, y'all don't even understand the amount of frustration, anger, what's that word you lose, just, I don't know, I'm blank right now. But let me get back under there and put the transmission, set the transmission back up, put it back up on the cross member, clean up this little bloodbath, get this transmission out from under here, pull the pan, pull the harness, and I don't know if I'm going to get a new harness from the store or if I'm just going to pull the harness out of here since it's right here already. I got to put the exhaust back on. Everything's going great. Everything's going great. And it's only a freckle past the hair. So that's great. Let's see what happens. So just got off the phone with the customer. And I initially told him, just forget this. We shouldn't be going through all this because you paid the guy for a rebuilt transmission. So what you should, not saying it's not rebuilt, but a ready to go transmission that you bolt in, hook up, down the road, you're driving. Obviously that's not what we got. Most likely the harness is the issue. He's okay with getting a new transmission. We're not going to go back to that guy, of course, but he would like me to replace the transmission harness, which I've never done before. I just watched a video. I just YouTubed it. You got to take out some internal parts. It shouldn't be too difficult. I just don't want to, I'm not a transmission guy. I'm not good with internals of transmissions. I just don't want to make the transmission worse, if that makes sense, pulling out parts and putting them in incorrectly, if that's possible. But That's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take the old harness out now. I won't be able to get the new harness from O'Reilly's until later this evening, and then I'll have it in then. And we'll know. I mean, we'll know or we won't know. Well, we'll know what we won't know right now, but we will know. Anyways, let me get to that. And I gotta clean this up. I gotta put the transmission back up, put the cross member back up, put the drive shaft back in, hook the exhaust back up. So I will see y'all when I see y'all. Okay, so I unplugged. I was under there. I was ohming out the shift solenoids. That was being real funky, but that piece of junk isn't working 100%. But none of that matters now because we are just going to replace the whole transmission. Let me show you while I'm out here. Let me show you. This was the inside of the transmission pan. I didn't show you guys yesterday. But has all that in there. Remember, this is a rebuilt transmission. And then up in here, you got rust, So, and then I was pulling this plug out, and it snapped off the whole plug itself. So, essentially, hey, thank you. Replacing the whole valve body would probably fix this, but there's absolutely no point in throwing any more money at this. So I don't know where we're gonna get a new transmission. The customer said he doesn't want to go back to this guy, which I completely understand. But at the same time, that guy should. Oh, there's some more. That guy should definitely replace this transmission, give him an actual rebuilt one free of charge. But I guess we will see what happens. I'm so tired. I'm so done. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. I don't know if I'm gonna take the transmission. Maybe I'll start to take the transmission out today. I don't know. I've already done so much that you guys haven't seen, just because there's a lot of no point in seeing it, basically, is what I'm saying. So we'll see what goes on and what happens, and next you'll see me pulling this transmission out, which will be awesome. All right, so it is the next day, and it is time to pull the transmission. Now, typically, I'm not too big of a fan of pulling transmissions because just being under the vehicle, and sometimes it's just hard to get hands in there to get to the bolts and whatnot. But a 4L60E with only 3 bolts holding the torque converter in, and 6 bolts on the bell housing, is a trillion times easier to replace or pull out than a 4-wheel drive 4.7 RE that I did actually right here in the driveway. I didn't make a video on it because I just didn't, but it was the biggest. It was a 14-hour job to say the least. This will probably take me an hour-ish. Also, by the way, anybody need an engine? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I went from having none to 5. 6.0, 6.0, 6.0, 5.3, Gen 4 5.3. For sale, for sale, for sale. Anyways, sorry, getting off track, but let's get this transmission out. yay! What did I put that bolt in with? The earthquake machine? Good thing your mom keeps me strong. Having to carry that big back girl everywhere. I am now at about minute 45 of trying to get this last effing bolt out. And it is mucking ridiculous. No matter what socket I put on it, it's like there's no socket that fits it, basically. But I've matched it up with the bolt I've already pulled out. That's the same one. And it does not want no socket. Go the fuck on! Ay, ay, ay. I'd have had this thing out, this transmission out an hour ago. But always the last goddamn bolt. Ah! God. Get. Oh, now you want to come out. Appreciate it. Could have done this shit an hour ago. Fuck. Sorry. I apologize for that outburst. Can we now remove the transmission? If there's one more bolt I forgot about. One, two, three, 4, 5. I got the top bolt. Am I missing one on the passenger side? Now, oh, just gotta pry it off the dowels. Oh, there we go. Watch your hands, your face, your feet, your peckers, in case it falls. Oh, there's my pry bar. What am I missing? There we go. There we go. Oh, almost lost you. How am I getting this tall? I mean, I'm gonna have to get it out. The only way I can get it out. I'm gonna have to get it off. I have to take it. I'm gonna have to take it off the jack, is what I'm saying. Because that's the only way I'm gonna get it out. Oh. Let's get this out of here first. Pretty used to that, with how heavy your mom is. And all the times she sat on my chest. What are you tilting that way? What happened? God, I gotta get you out of here somehow. Come on, what's the point of having wheels if you don't roll, bitch? Oh, there we go. That'll work. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, it's a bloodbath. It's a bloodbath. Come on. Ta-da! Your transmission has successfully been pulled by a professional. All right, transmission is out. So let's go over a couple things. If you just don't want to hear me yap, then best to end the video. I'll catch you next time. Peace out, A-Town down. But I had some people, or I had a comment that was a good comment on my last video, and they mentioned if you have a Gen 4 4L60 and it has a black and something plug, then you can only run it on a Gen 4 ECU. That might be true, but Gen 4 4L65E, 70E, 75E, I think it's either, they have a 4L65E for sure. It's either a 70E or 75E or both in Gen 4 before they went to the 6L80E. And those will bolt up to a Gen 3, and they will run on a Gen 3 ECU because I've done it. There was, if you go back, the very first 69 Camaro I LS swapped, he brought me a Gen 4 6.0 with a 4L 70 or 75E, whichever one it is. I bolted it up. We ended up not using that Gen 4 6.0. We used the Gen 3 6.0, bolted it up. I used one of my usual Amazon computers, eBay computers, Amazon harness, and it ran and drove perfectly. Nothing, no transmission issues. Remember, this will tell you the year of the transmission, this tag. Oh, well, looky there. That wasn't even the right tag. Or was it? It was just a piece of it. Yeah, I think it was just the top layer that came off. Yeah, I think that's all it was. So this would have been a 2009 year model, I believe. That's what that number always means. Unless it's upside down. But if it says 1 such and such, it's an 01, a 2 such and such, it's an 02, and so on and so on, 03, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, and this is obviously not a black and whatever plug. It's green. But then, you know, if you're like, man, if I pull the, I thought I had a trash can over there. If I pull the transmission myself, you know, how do I go about it? Well, one, there's a million videos on how to do it. I'm going to tell you how I do it. First, you unhook the battery post cables. You take off the starter. Take out the 3 flywheel bolts. It'll be 6 if you have a 4L80E, but 4L60s, they only have 3. 3 flywheel bolts, and then take out your bolts here, 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 and then the same 2 on this side, on that side. It's a total of, there's one down here. So 1, that'll actually go into the oil pan. I never use that one. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 bolts altogether. It won't hurt anything if you don't put this top bolt in. But that's just me, especially if like you're putting this in a vehicle that if you ever have to take the transmission out, the top bolt is usually the biggest pain. But in my case, it was, which one was it? It was this bolt. Yeah. But anyways, that's how I do it. And then you just drop her down. But that is it for this video. I'm not 100% sure when I'll be receiving the new transmission. We're not, like I stated earlier in the video, we're not going back with that guy. To be honest, I don't know if I'll send customers his way again. Again, I've used 4 other ones that have been great, no issues, and then we have this one, so it's kind of I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if the customers talked to the guy about taking this one back to him, so I don't know what's going on with that situation. I just know he doesn't want to take this back to him and get another one from him, and then we, take the chance of having to do this all over again. So, I appreciate you watching. I actually didn't plan on this being a video. I was actually going to come out here and just pull the transmission, but I figured, hell, why not? But appreciate you watching. I still have some shirts available. Please go buy the last of my shirts. I'm not going to make some for quite a while. Like, subscribe, comment, and get a good transmission the first time around, because this has been we should have been cruising this bad boy on the highway a month ago now, but it's been nothing but setbacks and parts issues and now transmission issues. So anyways, have a great holiday, Christmas if I don't see you again. Tell your wife, 1, I said hello, and 2, you need some LS parts and you need a shirt from Krusty. But anyways, appreciate you watching. Have a good Christmas, New Year. Now I'm just rambling, but see y'all next time.